Welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. In today's video, we are doing a complete altcoin analysis. Now, before we get into the altcoin analysis, make sure to check us out on our main YouTube channel, Mega Whale Crypto, where we post daily videos of Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. And if you're interested in more of that kind of content, you can join us on Telegram. That will be the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop with cryptocurrency, with Bitcoin, and the relevant economic news. And if you were interested in taking your trading to the next level, you can join us in our VIP group where we post trading setups with exact entry prices, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and so much more. You'll also get access to all of our group chats with over 700 members, our trading chart and education chat, our daily video, help, news, and trade setup chat. So you can find out more information about our VIP in the pinned comment of the free channel by clicking my name, or these two links showing you a video inside the channel and a 50-month trading track record by the first link. Check it out, guys, and let's dive into the altcoin video. Okay, legends, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. We haven't done an Ethereum update for quite some time. I think the last time we did an Ethereum video was actually all the way back here in June. We talked about how the weekly close above the 50 EMA back at 2,500 was the trigger for a macro continuation into the 4,000 resistance. We have seen that. We eventually broke through 4,000 and we've actually retested those highs in 2021. The big question is, will Ethereum continue upwards? How is the macro looking? How is the short term developing? And what is the total altcoin market cap doing? So let's jump into all of this content. Let's start on the immediate short term. So over the last few days and hours, we saw a lot of sideways consolidation for Ethereum. On the daily chart, we can see just how small these candles were becoming, signifying a massive reduction in overall volume and volatility. We saw the EMAs compressing, the 50 EMA and the 200 moving average compressing, signifying again massive reductions in volatility and volume. And we have seen since then a break and rally toward the upside as Bitcoin broke through that 114,000 level, as helped by the PPI data and CPI data. With this rally, we have seen Ethereum push upwards into these recent highs at around 4,700 to 4,800. And we are seeing on the short term some very early signs of weakness developing here from the 4 hour, looking at the RSI incredibly overbought over here. Taking a look at the market cypher B, we are seeing some resemblance of curving over here, signifying potentially some weakening bullish momentum developing. Maybe these sellers jumping in to push the price down very briefly on the short term for a little bit of a healthy pullback. Looking at the hourly chart, we do have a uptrend here on the RSI, spanning back since essentially the beginning of this rally from 4,200 up into the 4,700 region. We can see a potential retest incoming for this RSI trendline, and a breakdown of this trendline will likely signify a negative momentum shift, and we could see corrections for Ethereum looking at the break of structure 4,560, and of course a change of character 4,490 as potential bounce targets or correction targets, meaning if we see a negative momentum shift, we could see corrections into this region into the new week before we then see continuations back upwards. So on the short term, I do think that the rally we have seen here for Ethereum over the past 2 or 3 days is nearing an end. Now, will that end sustain into the new week? That is an entirely different question, but I think at least on the short term, this move upwards will likely see some sort of pullback, some healthy pullback, before we then see a continuation, hopefully, in this upward trend. Taking a look at the 4 hour, like we said, we can see we are coming up to retest some of these higher levels of liquidity. Of course, above that 4,800 level is really when we start to get massively macro bullish for Ethereum, and we're looking at the potential for price discovery. Taking a look at the weekly chart, we can see breaking above that 4,800 to 4,900 level, we will not only be clearing the recent highs made back in August, but of course we'll be clearing the 2021 highs for Ethereum, which is essentially the all-time high for Ethereum's price action. Now, clearing that level essentially puts us into a major low historical resistance range, otherly known as price discovery, which could massively facilitate volatile upward moves. So we do expect that to occur for Ethereum, but only if we are able to clear this upper level of resistance we are currently challenging. Again, you can see that horizontal line marking out that 2021 top. So what do I expect moving into the new week? I do expect some sort of pullback from around about this region, potentially up into 4,800 for Ethereum, which could take us as low as around 4,500, maybe just a hair below 4,500. This will be an area of support where we will likely bounce and then continue back into retesting that region. Now, if we fail to bounce from that area, that is when we run the risk of correcting back into that 200 moving average. So the correction over here could take us to the 50 EMA. Losing that level will likely take us a little bit lower into that 200 moving average. Nevertheless, watching that short-term price action and being very much aware that breaking through these highs, these last levels of resistance, will trigger very likely a move into brand new highs, clearing that 2021 all-time high, and which will likely be a volatile move upwards. So pay attention to that, but do not ignore the short-term weakness that has the chance to develop, because we could see some small pullback moving into the new week. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Looking at the altcoin market, and we can see the altcoin market is resembling very similar to Ethereum in terms of the fact that we are retesting that 2021 high as we speak. So yet again, more confluence to suggest that Ethereum is now approaching that resistance. And if we do see any sort of pullback, it will likely develop from this region, but also confluence to suggest that breaking through this 2021 high here will send us into price discovery, which could massively push the price up for the altcoin market, particularly with Bitcoin dominance still looking as it is going to drop into that 200 moving average. So we have an environment here where the Bitcoin dominance is still likely continuing down. Interest rates are coming, which facilitates speculative asset performance. We are seeing the total cryptocurrency market cap continue upwards, mainly led by Ethereum, and we are seeing Bitcoin hopefully stabilize and push up into the upcoming week. Essentially, for Bitcoin to break through this 117.5K level, if we break through that region, that is going to be the tick we need to confirm Ethereum is going to push higher and the altcoin market is going to push higher. So a last level of resistance before hopefully a smashing continuation upwards, but we cannot get ahead of ourselves. We need to pay attention to the short term. If you're trading the short term, there might be some short-term short opportunities here. If you're looking at the macro chart for Ethereum is still bullish. Again, the macro chart for Ethereum will remain bullish provided we remain above that 4,100 level of support. If we are above here, we are bullish. If we drop below here, we become bearish for the macro for Ethereum. Very simple stuff. Don't need to overcomplicate it. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you guys back on the primary, the main channel tomorrow for a Bitcoin analysis. Love to see you all then. Bye.